just like fixing the galaxy. I'm pretty sure there's a cap on there or something. I know, I'd have to... Can I borrow you for a second? Can I clip through you? Okay. Okay. I need to kind of I have a suspicion. There it is! See it? Right there! I'm gonna take some screenshots. Right there, right there. Screenshot. Adobe's telling me an update failed. Fuck you. I'm not running STA today. I don't need to worry about you. There it is. That's the deflector. That's the secondary deflector of the galaxy, or the saucer deflector. So yeah, there's two kinds of warp drive in Star Trek. There's the active warp drive, which is what the big nacelles are for, and then there's the warp sustainer, which is what torpedoes use. There's in the Emissary, I believe, not the Deep Space Nine episode, the Next Generation episode that introduced Kalar, who's one of the best characters to come out of the early seasons, who they unceremoniously... Well, if you've never seen Next Generation, I won't spoil. But, the warp sustainer is used on torpedoes and such to keep an object at warp in warp, essentially. So, the two big impulse engines on the saucer... Let me scroll around. Those two big impulse engines are basically warp engines. Like these two warp engines, like on the other side of the saucer, they're essentially warp engines, but they're warp sustainer engines. So you could shed the saucer at warp, and the saucer will just keep going at warp speed. Like the probe, where they introduced Kalar in that episode, the emissary that I just mentioned, she shot in a torpedo tube to meet up with the Enterprise because it's an emergency. They don't have time, so they basically catapult her at like warp 9 in a torpedo casing with a warp sustainer, and the Enterprise has to catch up and beam her aboard. So, like that's what that secondary deflector on the Galaxy is for. It's for the saucer, so that the saucer can clear debris and dangerous stuff out of the way while it's sustaining a warp speed away from the star drive, which would supposedly be heading into battle. They didn't do this very often in the show for budget reasons, but that was the original intent, and there it is. It's in the model. It's actually in the model. That's what the suspicion that I had was, that is there just like a cap there over it? Because the same saucer geometry is used for the Dreadnought. It turns out, yes, there is just like a cap over that. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, see it? Right there. It's just got like a little geometry cap over it. Trying to get a better view. Yeah, those four big lights. Evidence! Visual evidence! Let's see. Maybe I could report that. I wonder if I can report... report that and see if eventually 5 years from now something gets done about it. It's a little issue. I'm not going to make a big deal of it as being like a major issue with this game, because Lord knows there's like other things that need attention in this game, but still. I have confirmed it is a bug, because that is not supposed to... There's a solid hull cap that is liturgy, I'm losing my capacity to speak, my god, that is literally there for the Dreadnought, because of the phaser lance goes over the area where the secondary deflector is supposed to be. So there's probably just like a hull cap of geometry here that they forgot to remove for the regular Galaxy. I mean, it's there on the Nebula. The Nebula saucer is supposed to be able to separate as well. But the Nebula is a bit weird in that regard. Theoretically, the Nebula could be sent to retrieve a Galaxy saucer, because the parts are basically... See what I mean? Because the lance has to go over that thing. So that's probably why that cap is there. Yeah, but the cap is like on top. So all the Galaxy models in the game are borked. That's Galaxy Mirror. Yep, all the Galaxy variants are borked. They've got a hull cap on there that's not supposed to be there. I'll send a bug report. We'll see if anything gets done about that. If. Big if. But, you know, I can at least say that I reported it. And I got the video evidence. You saw it. You saw it here. I'm not crazy. I might be crazy, but I'm not crazy about this. Crazy about other things. Crazy about galaxies. And how cool they are. Say what you want about like your Odysseys and your stupid crossfields. I can actually like load up stage 9 and walk around in this thing. Okay? There are volumes of books published about this thing right here, by people who sat down to actually think about how it works, instead of the... Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Instead of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer... they want to be Buffy. They don't want to be Star Trek.